girls. It's a Car Lab Thursday.
Where are we? In a car.
I know, Jim. Well, what I love about it is that we make it work.
I know. I love it.
I mean, it's been pretty bananas for you this week, actually.
I know.
What's
We've
been
had
going on?
we've had friends all week in town all week.
Yes.
And then celebrating Tim's 40th birthday, celebrating Hayden's 11th birthday.
That's so cool.
I mean, it's just-
how awesome is that they both have the same birthday? Did
I
you
love
guys
it.
plan that, by the way?
No.
You
And it's
didn't?
funny when we found out we were pregnant with him.
Yes.
And they gave us the original sonogram.
Yes.
And we saw the date and we were like, oh my gosh.
So wait, you gave birth to Hayden on the day he was the actual day they told you in the very beginning?
The original, picture had the date, and we were like, oh my gosh. I mean, it was crazy. And then as we progressed, they said, well, I actually think that's 41 weeks, the size.
Mhm.
So we went but we had him on August 3rd, the
Oh my
original date, but the way
gosh.
he was developed, they were like, I think it's 41 weeks, the way.
Yeah, because I thought he was a week later,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Then what? Yeah, for 41 weeks. I think
Mhm.
that is so cool. And
I
what
love it.
what are the chances of that even
I
happening?
know. And it's funny because they're like, oh wait, it's not this the same month and y'all celebrating together. I'm like, no, the same day.
Same day. So it's like father and son.
Yes.
Firstborn.
Yes.
First son. I mean, I just think that's so cool.
Yes, I
Hayden
love
has
it too.
to live up to that, though, by the way.
And I know.
Hayden's
And
wife
I think
was
about
like,
it every
"Hey,
time.
By the way,
Right.
before you guys get
Also-
married, I'm just going to let you. There's a little addendum to this marriage, real
Time
quick.
it right. Good morning. Hi, Julie. Hi,
Good
Felice.
morning, you girls.
Oh.
How cute.
I
It's
love
Miss
it.
Julie.
Oh, are you at the gym? Is she at the gym?
I didn't see her
I
this
didn't see
morning,
her this
but you know
morning.
what I did? I did see her the other day. I was in such a rush though, because when I was running through, I saw this girl with a neon Brave shirt, and I was just kind of running like, wait a minute. As I was like already running through, I'm like, wait a minute.
I know her.
You know that time
Yeah.
that it can just kind of hit you after
Yeah.
the fact?
Yeah.
So Julie, I saw you yesterday, but I wasn't able, I figured it out. It was you after I had ran by.
Do y'all want to laugh?
Blah, blah.
Look, so next door is my car, and I have the car on, and I have Annie, my dog. She's perched up over there waiting.
is.
I've got to take her to her grooming appointment. So if anybody has a mini golden doodle, I missed her appointment 2 weeks ago. This is why. And then her matting
Yes.
got really bad.
Well, it hits, and when all of a sudden,
it's just like it just keeps getting.
right, because they have naturally curly hair.
Yes.
So then it just
So
starts to
bad.
get really matted. Like Harriet,
Yes.
she's a multi-poo.
Rose.
Harriet Rosenstein.
Living her best life always.
I mean, it's Rosensteins. Oh my gosh, you guys. I mean, I think what I love seeing people that love their animals so
I
much.
know.
It's just I can identify with it.
Yes, and Annie, she has gotten to where when I'm serving dinner to the kids or lunch, she just pops up in one of the chairs, kind of like,
Oh,
well, I'm the fourth kid. What are you serving me?
I
You
know.
know? I'm like, I'm here too, Mom.
I'm hungry too.
I'm
girl.
hungry. I mean, I love it. Her little spirit has been the biggest blessing to our family.
Mhm.
You think about, I don't know, your dog can become your family.
Your dog is your family.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think she was definitely meant for you.
Yes, she was.
Mhm.
But she's perched up over there going, what are you doing, Mom?
know.
Mom and Mandy. And I pulled up next to Mandy, and she's like, hi, Mandy. And I'm like, oh, sorry, you got to stay in the car over here today.
Which
That-
is so funny. Your window did roll down,
Yes.
and I was waiting to see Jordan's face, and all of a sudden, it was Annie's face outside the window. I was like, oh, nears.
I know. And we laughed because during COVID, we got Harriet and Annie shaved around the same
Oh
time.
my gosh, yes.
And we called it the COVID cut because it was so bad. And she was shaved down like a cat. She's going to have to have that today.
Oh no.
I mean, we got to go down. We got to get,
no. Mm-mm.
we got to get a
Count
real
up.
shave. She's going to have no hair. Oh my
But
gosh.
she's gonna be a lot cooler for the Oklahoma heat.
She is.
Think of it
I
that
kind
way,
of felt
too.
bad for her. And then we'll get her wet just because we think she's too hot.
Right,
And
right.
then the matting, and it's just like, oh God.
I know, it's a
The
vicious
groomer's
cycle.
going to say, ooh, do
I
you
know.
love your dog? Do you take care of it? I'm like, no. I really had an appointment. And I do it every month and missed it anyway. So,
Well, and I love today specifically because amidst all of the chaos and all of the
Yes.
family, you know, there's certain things in life you just make time for yourself and all the things that are important to you.
yes.
And I love how we have a million people going in a million different directions.
Yes.
Yet we still meet at a place. We jump in a car,
Yes.
and we're just like, you know what? There's still things to do. There's still a mission that we want to continue.
Absolutely.
And it's like having that daily list, that
Yes.
that agenda.
Yeah. And I look forward to it.
Did I showed
Oh,
you
yeah.
Sophie's.
Y'all would be very proud.
I know.
She
I'll
sent
put-
it
I'll
to me,
put-
and I was like, oh, this is
I know.
great.
It's a girl after her
You'll
own
have to
heart.
sh-
It's a
I
girl
know.
I'll put it in the comment section. Sophie's to-do list.
Well, and it was
yesterday.
so great because it was like just
Did you see that?
I was like,
She said
social
snap,
side-
snap,
social.
socials. I was like, okay, girl.
okay, girl.
I know.
I'd love to. You have to.
Can
ask
I
her.
get on that routine?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, Sophie.
I know. Check out that lingo. I love the lingo. Okay, girls. So we wanted to share because of that. We loved just, again, it's kind of acknowledging what I love about friendships is that, again, the criteria of a friendship is loving and supportive. And when we think about that, I really kind of look at it at a more of a, like the entire person, like there's so much of a person that you just really find that you just love.
Yes.
And I think that's what's so exciting about even like the post that we said today is like acknowledging and accepting your own inner bonkers.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes. And it's hard to do that when you have the world around you. And you listen to any naysayer or you listen to any negativity. And it's hard to stay in line with, you know what, this is what I want. This is who I am. This is what I'm called to do.
Yes.
And we always laugh about somebody not being on the conference call. It's like, here's what we want to do.
Right.
You may not have been on my call.
Right.
So you don't see the vision and hope, but this is my calling.
I love that more than anything. And I love that you always,
sorry y'all,
when we, like in that doubt, and you always say, you're like, but Mandy, remember, this is our mission. It's not everybody's going to be in on it. Not everyone's going to agree with it because they weren't on the conference call. They don't see what we see. And I love that. And I think that's what makes sitting at a table with so many different humans at once is so exciting.
It is.
Because I wasn't on their conference call.
No.
I wasn't on the next person's conference call.
Absolutely.
And so the things they bring to the table,
yes,
I never knew.
Well, and then you start to admire it when you actually follow what you feel you're supposed to do in life.
Right.
I feel super inspired when I see somebody on a mission. I'm like, wow, they have their vision, or they're following what they're meant to do, or their passion. And when they talk about it, it's super clear. And I don't understand it, or may not see it, or may have doubts in it, because that's not my gig. That's
right.
I wasn't on their call. I wasn't on their vision plan. You know, I'm not reading all into it, but it's cool when someone confidently steps into, this is what I'm doing. Not asking you if you like it. I'm just letting you know.
Yes.
You know, come along with me, but this is what I'm doing.
Gosh, and it's so, and because of those pioneers, I call them pioneers.
Yes.
Because of them, I now know how to sew.
Absolutely.
You know, because someone else figured out what they wanted to do, and now I can YouTube if I'm curious and find it. But because they followed their passion, it's like we all need to listen to what our true passion is and go for it. There's other people that need you. They need you to follow your passion, so they learn from you. Whatever that may be.
Yes. As simple as it may be. Whatever you feel that
you're like a great baker.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
There's one thing I've been following now, and there's on this TikTok as this girl that, well, I believe it's a girl, but she makes all Christmas treats.
I love it.
Or holiday treats.
Yeah.
And it's so cute because there's so many different things. I'm like, oh my gosh, so many great ideas. Would I have found any of those things? No. Would I have known how to do it? No. But she makes it so easy. I'm like, wait a minute, I can do it. But she followed her passion.
Yes.
Now, because of that, I'm going to make some of those during the holiday, and my family are going to be so happy because she followed through with her vision and her happiness.
Yes. And all being the same would not be fun. You know? I mean, if you hang around everybody that's got, you want people with vision. I always want to hang around people that have an outlook on life where it's like, it's okay if the others don't believe in me, but I believe in myself. And I was even talking to some friends of ours that are in town right now, and he made a great comment. He goes, it almost inspires me when somebody doesn't believe in me. Like when someone says, oh, that's not going to happen. And he played college football with Tim, and he said he remembers people he went to high school with saying, oh, that'll never happen. You know, no, you're not going to do it. And he said, it just made me go to the next level. It was like, okay. And he said, it's not to prove them wrong. It just gives me enough energy to say, hold on, I'm about to really show what I'm made of, you know?
I love that.
So if you have that in your life and you're sitting here thinking, I'm almost there and here's what I want to do with my life, but I'm doing this, I'm not living inside the zone that I want to be in, but nobody seems to believe in me. Sometimes it's not about anybody else. It's just deciding this is what I want. This is what I believe in.
And do you ever feel that maybe sometimes those naysayers are sent on purpose?
On purpose? I was about to say that.
Yeah.
It's like when you decide you want something good in life and the devil comes a knocking to say, did you really want that? Are you sure you want that? And it makes you doubt. And every time we've done something with OTG, we have to go, hold on. Wait, oh, okay. That's the reminder that we're on the right path.
Well, as soon as someone says that you can't, or someone says, or that makes fun of, or just saying, oh, it's just this is what my favorite one, and I'm just going to, because we're in our little group here, when someone says, oh, you're just a t-shirt company, like, thank you. Thank you.
I know.
I do say thank you.
Thank you.
I get excited when they say that. I love it.
Yes.
I'm like, this is the best part, is that you missed the entire mission. You missed it all.
totally missed it.
It went right
And
over
is
your
it worth
head.
explaining?
I know, because you haven't felt it inside yet.
Yeah.
But the burn will come.
Yes.
And
Oh,
you
and that-
will feel it.
Yes. Absolutely.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say, if you have to explain yourself, think about if the listener is worth that. Like, if sometimes it's better just to show them.
Yeah.
You know, if you got to explain, here's why I want to do it, and here's what I'm going to do. If it's someone that really wants to encourage and push you, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's going to be to someone that's not believing in you, is it worth the explanation? Maybe not.
Well, it's that whole like fall on deaf ears.
Yes.
Like it's just like I can sit there and try to, but if I can try to convince you about what we're doing, but again, they weren't on the conference call.
No, and why convince them?
Yes, no.
That's
They'll
not-
see it,
they'll
and
see
they're
it.
like, "Wait a minute, what is that? What is it that you're doing? What is it that that inspires you?" And it's like, just start. They again around the campfire long enough, and they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh,
Oh, I
wait a
see.
minute."
Mhm.
So sometimes it takes people a little bit longer, and I think that goes for a lot of things. Like especially, I hear a lot of times when girls want to try a new diet, or they're like, "You know what? I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm gonna make a change." And it's like immediately as soon as they do that, all these people around them say, "But you know, you quit last time."
Yeah.
Or remember, it only
even
lasted a
spouse
week.
or someone that doesn't believe because you haven't been able to follow through before.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
But sometimes it's like, maybe that's to inspire you. It's that whole shift of, I'm going to view the negativity as, you know what, they thought enough to give me an opinion.
That is true.
You know? Like, okay. And my personality really is kind of like, oh, girl.
Yours are good. I know. I was like,
You just said,
I
I can't.
do what?
I know.
Girl.
Seriously. And I just noticed Talia, so I played high school. Let's see, 6th grade on. Is it 6th grade on, Talia? I can't remember. But I tried out for the volleyball team. She will tell you this. I was the worst on the team, so I've never touched a volleyball the day tryouts happened. And I'll never forget them. Literally, I was the worst. I walked in, I'd never touched a volleyball. But I wanted to play. I was just that personality.
But you wanted to play.
I wanted to play.
I don't know what I'm doing here, but you know what? I'm doing it.
I'm doing it. If you're on, you will remember this tryout. And I think I made the B team. And I was so angry because I was like, I want to be good at this. I love it. I want to be great at this. And I did. And she was, well, I see, Talia, you'll have to remind me. Was I offensive player for the high school and you were, no, I was defense, you were offense of the year or whatever. We won these awards our senior year. It was like,
so awesome.
I mean, we had grown so much, and I'm not saying it to say I won an award, but it was the growth. It was like people didn't believe, oh, you just need to go do track, or you need to see. She said yes. See, I was terrible. I was really terrible, but it made me so mad that I was terrible. You know, because I'd always done soccer and I'd always run, and it was just like I tried hard and I had executed and I got it done, and volleyball was really different.
But the fact that you wanted to try something and you went for it speaks volumes for your personality. It speaks volumes of your character. It didn't matter whether you were great or horrible at the beginning. You just knew what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea of like keep following through. If something hits your heart,
Do
and
it.
you want to, and it hits your heart. It's on your heart for a reason. I want to go learn how to, to bake. Go bake.
Yeah.
You may not be the best baker in the beginning,
Yep.
and you may forget like your baking soda. Everything's flat, or it's crunchy cookies. Who knows? But guess what? 10 crunchy cookies, but 10 batches down, you're
gonna get good.
You may get real good. You may be making cookies for the church, and then your friends, and the next thing you know, you're selling
You're
online.
hired.
You're e-commerce.
I'll take you.
I mean,
You're like,
that's how it happens.
I
That's
know.
how it happens. When
So true.
something is placed on your heart, it's placed on your heart for a reason. And it may sound so silly, and it may
Yeah.
feel so minuscule, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Why did I even think of that? There's a reason.
There's a reason. Do you ever get those like God winks where it's like this, like a buzz in your heart, and you're kind of like, okay, I need to tune into that instead of listening to what everybody else tells me I need to do, or how I need to live, or where I need to live, or how I need to dress. It's like tune into who you are, and then you're going to attract people that appreciate that version of you.
Right.
You know?
Yes. Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
That's what. Well, I just think about when going over to China.
Yes.
I moved to China not knowing the language, and moved over there, went and enrolled in university just so I could learn to eat.
Yeah.
I had to be able to speak the language to eat.
Learn
so
a
people
word,
always
'cause I
just
need
say
to order
anymore.
food.
I know. So people. Oh my gosh, you guys.
We have a girl already.
I gotta show you guys. Look. Where is she? Hey! Hey, girl! What you doing? Oh gosh, you're so cute.
I love when this happens.
I love it.
Like I know exactly where that
I know. See, we're at the gym. I love it.
Love you.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, you guys. I love it. That was sweet Julie
I
Lucas.
love when that happens.
I do too. Gosh, that was Julie Lucas.
love you, Julie.
I love you, Julie. Gosh, she is so pretty.
I know.
Gosh, she's
Beautiful,
so pretty.
Julie.
So pretty, so pretty, so pretty. I just love her so much. And her heart, it's her heart. It's just
know.
is like bigger than life.
Her heart's bigger than her.
Yeah, oh gosh, yes.
Little tiny little jewel.
Did I just see in her beautiful
Put in her
girl.
little pocket.
I know. So when she came by you, I'm like, oh gosh, there she is. There she goes
No.
cruising.
Like you were cruising that day up next to me.
I was.
That was hilarious.
Okay,
Okay, we got to read them.
Yes.
Now. If you didn't see our post this morning, the part I love so much is the very beginning.
Yes. So that was the quote that's what really inspired us today, because we're all a little quirky. We all have our own things, but I think that's what makes us uniquely us.
Yes.
And it really is essential that we really tune into what makes us us, so we can add to the value of the day and add the value to your relationship, add the value to your friendships,
Yes.
add the value to your children.
Yes.
You know, because they want to see you, not you as someone else.
Yes.
So that was one of our quotes. It said, "You're entirely bonkers, but I'll tell you a secret. All the best people are." And that's from Alice in Alice in Wonderland.
I love it.
I do too.
And it doesn't mean you're weird. It's this
No.
concept that you're bonkers because you're doing your calling. You're you.
Yeah, it's
You know?
bonkers to everyone else but you. It
But-
makes sense to
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what it's like. Embrace your inner bonkers. To anyone who's spending their time trying to fit in or play it safe or questioning how it's supposed to be done, listen and honor what comes up to you in your mind. I mean, that's just by honoring our own bonkers, because if people, it's just, again, it's not a good, you want to be different than everyone else.
Yes, and the part where it says, let's choose today to flourish in our mind, in our choices, in our struggles, and in our wins, and even through our losses. That is, I feel like when you choose you, that you matter, you're worthy, what you want and you desire in life is worth your efforts and time, and it's not about what everyone else wants. When you go through the wins, when you go through the losses, you're able to tackle those better and stronger. Because when you're uniquely you surround yourself with people that appreciate and love you. So those ups and downs in life are easier because you truly find your tribe when you're you. You can't fake it. You know, you fake someone else, you're going to find people that you really don't connect to.
Right.
You're going to find a community that's not you. You're going to find people that are not inspiring you truly. And when you really get to the central core of it and you say, this is what we're called to do with OTG, T-shirt company, naysayers, you know, the couple things we've gotten to people. I was laughing a lot. It's like, no, that's us. I think we're moving our mission forward, and we're laughing through the triumphs and the trials and the hardships and the losses and the shifts in life. You know.
Yeah. Well, because of this mission, I mean, that was placed on our hearts.
Right.
Just like they weren't on the conference call.
Yep.
God didn't put it in their hearts.
This was not an open Zoom.
This was not an open Zoom. This was
But we're going to share.
As silly and crazy as it may
Yes.
be, we thought, you know what? I think that, I mean,
This is what we need to do.
And the fact that it was placed on both of our hearts individually,
Right.
and then we both just
Came
over
together.
time just kind of like, hey, I know this may sound silly, and that's another qualifier that I feel that we shouldn't have to say anymore.
Right.
You know, we're already discounting ourselves before we even say it, because we want to make sure that just in case it does sound silly or crazy, that they're not going to judge
sounds
us.
silly.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. They're always so worried about that judgment before, instead of saying, I have an idea that this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
But that's having that confidence. But I
Yes.
think that has a lot also to just do with life experiences and traumas.
Yep.
That you're
Absolutely.
always needing to make sure, have that safe, have that little bit of an armor.
I know there
just
could
in
be
case.
failure. Yeah.
Right. And just in case if I do fail, remember, it was just kind of
It
a
was
joke.
an idea. I was not sure.
It was just kind of a
Yeah.
joke. And when we kind of pull away from that and really just start saying, just owning it and saying,
Yeah.
this is what it is. And then whenever it doesn't, like, you know what, it didn't work out. What's wrong with that? Why can't we just say, you know what, it didn't work out, but you know what, I'm on to my next success.
Exactly. And I read something last week. I think I sent it to you. You know, you oftentimes think like failure, success. Like there's two things. And the quote was that failure is the step to the success. Like it's part of the success. That's what it said. Your failures are part of your success. It's not, I made the wrong decision, I failed, and I missed success. It's you're on your way to your next success, like you always say.
And on your way to your next success.
Yes.
And then what is actual success? Sometimes success is getting out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Because your days were so incredibly hard the day before, and you don't know what to even live for today.
Right.
So waking up and looking at yourself in the mirror, or waking up and getting up out of bed is a success.
Meeting a friend.
That's a success.
Right. It's getting to work, and I do think that through the last couple of years, life transitions for people, and COVID, it could have been anything, a pandemic or whatever the next thing is that we're all going to go through in life. I think that always remembering that in order to come out on the other side, you really evaluate who gets your time, who gets your energies, and because all that really forms who you are in the steps. So like one of the things we've done in this process of OTG is be very careful of who influences how we feel, so that we can follow our dream and steps towards the next success.
Well, and that goes back to talking about when we always discuss about having the 5 people in your life, and that would be like the 5 most people that you call on the phone. The 5
like if you really scrolled through your phone right now, and who fed you this week, and who really pulled from you,
you
know, and how did that pivot where you could stay on track or not, you know,
and knowing that of the 5 people that you speak to the most, you are the mean, you are the average of those 5 people. So are those 5 people goal seeking? Are those 5 people, or one of those 5 people, are they damaging? Are they hurting other people? Or are they saying things that kind of bring you down? You know, there's always that person that's like, I don't know, it's like a sideswipe compliment, but it's a kind of a dig. And you're like, that was a bit passive aggressive, you know, not that type of thing, because it didn't fuel me. It didn't make me feel good. And so now because of that person, that's who I speak to. Maybe they're the 5th person. That's bringing down my average.
Bringing it down.
So I like how we were talking about how important it is about the 5 people. The 5 most important, those in your circle, your top 5 are your influences. They should be the ones that cheer you on for every goal. They should celebrate the milestones of life's phases and console your heart when you hurt, but not let you stay there for too long.
Yeah. They're not just, you know, it's like that passing, how are you?
Yeah.
I'd love to pay attention to who really wanted to hear my answer. You know, well, instead of, oh, it's great, whatever, and then you just keep going. Like, who are the people that when you are going through that high and that low, especially those highs, like who's cheering for you?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, truly, who's showing up for you? And take inventory of that, because those things influence how you feel, how your mindset is, how you operate.
Yes, your circle or your influences.
Absolutely. Yes.
That they should support you unconditionally, have pride for you when you succeed, and be the friend to you as you are to them.
Yes. Oh,
I know.
And it's not necessarily and I know we've shared this before, it's not about them doing something for you. You know, and like time and distance can be hard on relationships, but at the end of the day, it's not about if they're with you or if you get to see them often. It's what's the energy flow there. My aunt even said a great thing at the wedding, talking about, she was telling us girls, the cousins, you know, really look at the 2 or 3 friends. She's like, I made for sure on purpose that those 2 or 3 friends were surrounding me the whole time at the wedding. We planned everything because they make me positive. They remind me what's right. And I was like, oh, that's such a great point. You know, when you're she's doing life, and she was intentional about who she's inviting to circle her around during this big venture of planning a wedding.
Yeah.
She's like, because they kept me positive, they kept me on track, they reminded me, and they saw things I didn't see. And to know, she was like, always really take inventory of those people that are influencing you through phases of raising kids, or phases of them going off to college or getting married, or whatever it might be.
But I love that word, influencing.
Yes.
Because now it seems to want to be a buzzword that we're using now more with social media. But if you think about it, whether it be 1 person, 2, 3, I mean, my goodness, you were absolutely blessed if you have 5.
Right.
You know?
Oh, and I used to think that was so silly. Like, oh, I have like 20 friends, you know, when you're a kid.
Yes.
I have so many friends. I don't know what that means. And now it's like, who are the 1 or 2 people?
1 or 2. I mean, 3
struggle
maybe.
bus.
It's major.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who wants to be, really wants to be there?
Yeah, I know.
They probably don't. It's putting them out.
Well,
you
sure.
know,
Yes.
versus,
and I don't want to tell, and half the time I don't want to tell people, because it's like, I don't want people, you know, I don't want people knowing that I'm struggling, because they'll use it against me at some point.
Yeah.
Or they'll talk about me, or like, well, you know, Mandy was doing this yesterday. I'm like, but that wasn't someone.
No,
that
you need a friend that's there, and then you move on to the next thing.
Let me process.
Oh, for sure.
And then we move on. Like, you did it, check the box, you talked about it. It's 1 step of healing. You got it out, you verbalized it. Let's accept it, and now let's move on. And now let's do something to better that.
Absolutely. Oh, the high five, I love that. They're simply waiting for a chance to speak. Okay, Leah, I love that, because it's so true. It's, people want to talk, you know, that when you just let them talk and listen, it's a whole different relationship when you become a listener. I love the opportunity to hear someone's story, because then I can decide, how can I be a friend to them? How can I love them? And then vice versa. Who are the friends that let you work through your issues or what's going on in your life, and who really wants to be there? Versus, I have lots of friends. I'd rather have one or two amazing friends that are saying, you can do this. I know it's hard today. Keep going. You can do it.
Gosh, well,
I just type friends.
Well, and I just have to take a moment just to commend you on your friendship, because I was major struggle bus for the past nine months, but I've come out of it. I mean, like I showed you guys, and you guys probably noticed just even from the lives, I lost almost 20 pounds, a lot of stress and a lot of pain, and then only having those 3 people or 2 people that I would even tell what's even going on, and then sharing that with you. But not only did you listen and be my #1 cheerleader, but what I can't believe is that you actually went to Google and wrote.
She would type. It still comes through my feed constantly.
Because you would say, "How do I support a friend going through this?"
Mm-hmm. Especially when I'm the personality that just wants to fix it for her.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I can't.
And what a growing moment for you.
Oh, that's why I thank you, because it's like this. It helped me to learn how to be a support versus the fix. I can't fix it, but I can love her and say I'm here, and I don't know. It's interesting how it's a growth tool for everybody.
It's a growth tool. It's like just as you're aging, just you're realizing the difference, the benefits of what a friend means. It's not just, hey, I have a friend because I can call them and we can go out to go grab something to eat, or maybe go grab a glass of wine. It's no, the friend actually may be, because especially during these different stages of our lives, it's the pain.
Absolutely.
And dealing with the pain of things. It's like, or health concerns, and dealing with death, and dealing with
parents that are in a new phase.
Relationships.
Disciplining your kids, like helping you love them through the changes. Like that's a big thing for me now. It's like learning how to discipline. There's no manual, and how to be supportive. It's with the people you love, how can I grow to be supportive and actually meet the need that you have, because the tools I have in my bag are only from my experiences. I haven't been there, so how can I do that?
And you just grew as a friend and as a person. I could only imagine if you just going through the things that you do. It just speaks volumes of the type of human you are. You're just amazing. You're just amazing.
She's so cool.
No, you're amazing.
I'll keep her around a little longer. Oh my gosh. I love that you jumped on. Oh my God. And we had a coach from when we were in high school pass away this past week.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And she messaged me, and it was just, it's one of those things where you realize how life is so short, and it seems so taboo to say that, or like, it's like, okay, everybody says that, but it really is. You go through the next season of life, and we're just lucky today's our new day, so you don't want to go, you don't want to. There was an interview in nursing homes when they asked questions with them, and the common denominator was they all had regrets. That was what in the feedback of that, and I'll never forget reading it, because my mom sent it to me, and she's like, here you go after it. You don't want to, don't regret it. Don't wait. Just go after your dreams. Do it as whatever's calling your heart, whatever's pulling on you, tugging on you. Go there. Don't wait for somebody to support you.
Well, my mom always said the coulda, woulda, shouldas.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't should on yourself is what she said.
Amen. Amen.
Mom, you're
I love that.
Don't should on yourself. I'm like,
don't should on yourself. I don't want to be in a nursing home and sitting there going, well, I should have done that.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's why, even like for myself, kind of growing up, my dad always said, don't have this. This was my journey. But my dad's like, don't have kids don't get married till you're 30. Don't have kids till you're 30. And I don't know if that was just this number that, especially back in the day, what people used to say. But in my mind, I really thought that. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure I got all of my dreams that I wanted to have done, like complete. Yeah. That way, whenever I do decide to have children, I'm not saying, oh gosh, I wish I'd
done that before kids.
Yes. Yeah. So I checked it, and then it was in that moment, I'm like, okay.
That's a pretty good.
Yeah, I've got it all done. I've got everything done, because now everything I want to do, this is what it was. I was flying, and then again being overseas, and kind of like seeing all these beautiful things. Yeah. And doing these incredible adventures. Yeah. And tasting wonderful food, and seeing different cultures and loving it, but you're all alone.
Yeah.
So that's when it hit.
Step came.
Yes. Yeah. I was like, oh, now I see what it means.
Now I get it.
I'm doing this all by myself. It would be so nice to have someone to say, hey, remember that time when we were in Thailand or wherever, and have that moment.
Yes, sorry. So checking on Anna's over here.
Oh no, there she is. She's still smiling.
She's She seems good. She's perched.
She is.
She's perched. No, it's a great point.
Yes.
Like your heart pull. So
Yeah.
if we say follow your heart, you know, follow.
Whatever that may be. And then and people thought I was bananas.
Yeah.
Moving to China, not knowing the language, figuring out what to do. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, just like how eagles.
Yeah.
We were talking about the eagle
Yes,
story.
yes.
Like eagles learn how to fly on their way down. So the mom
love
shoves, like pushes the baby eagle out.
Mm-hmm.
And the eagles, and then they have to learn to fly on the way down. Now, if the eagle is getting really, really
From
close
like
to the ground,
300 feet. You said
Yes.
something really high.
yes,
Yeah.
kind of like from the nest.
Yeah.
And so if the mom can fly, the mom's flying with him and noticing that if he doesn't learn to fly, he sloops right underneath, swoops him with the eagle, and then put him right back up in the nest, and then have to learn again.
I love it.
But that's kind of
That's
the same
like having
way.
the people around you.
Yes.
Like, oh, you're okay. Let me help you.
Yeah.
You've got the support.
Yeah.
But go jump. Go figure out what it is.
Because maybe it works.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's your story.
Yeah.
To
And
say,
it's always in the direction of your next success.
yes.
That's the mindset. You just switch that.
I mean, could you imagine if I didn't have the China story?
Right.
Like, because someone would have said, "Oh, that's really silly. You don't know the language. Why would you even move there?" I'm like, "You're right.
Which has
Why
helped
would
us
I?"
get new things in our life now.
Right.
Which is all part of the, even if it doesn't make sense.
It may not make sense, but it's a paver.
Even moving to Tulsa, some days I'm like, why did we leave Texas? Why did we go to Colorado? Why are we in Tulsa? Why did I meet Mandy? What my whole family said for 11 years, why move back to Texas,
Yeah.
and here we've moved and placed in a position that the first holiday we're here, we meet you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really bizarre.
See?
Yeah.
It's kind of just listening to that voice on your
Yeah.
heart and following through with it. Not
Yeah.
realizing you may not have all the answers. You're not expected to.
Yeah.
But at a time,
Yeah.
it may finally present itself,
Yes.
and in the most unassuming time.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh, and it's that aha moment, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god.
Yes.
Just try. It may work out, it may not, but at the end of the day,
You'll be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
You'll be confident in the fact that you did something. That's the other piece of the puzzle. There's a no loss situation here.
and you have another conversation at the table. So
Absolutely.
you guys, guess what? I guess what I tried.
Y'all should hear
Total
this story.
fail. Total
Really
fail.
bad.
I know, and everyone's like, oh my gosh.
That's cool though. So glad you jumped on, Talia. So glad I jumped on you to hear all this.
No, good.
Learn pain. I've learned that it's really the most helpful. That people really need you. They are not going to tell you that they need you, so we just show up. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Being a friend sometimes is just being there, listening, or letting them know, hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Really am. I'm here. It's that repetition, you know, and wanting to be. We challenge you to go do that thing you're holding on to. We've all got those things.
Let's do it. So whatever that may be, you want to start a new diet, you want to wake up earlier, you were thinking about starting a new business, you want to learn how to sew so you can make little outfits for your animals, your dogs, for
Anything.
Halloween costumes.
That's right.
You never know. You know, whatever your passion.
Whatever it might be, just do it.
Just do it.
Yes.
Like the Nike slogan.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
Oh.
So please share with us because we want to celebrate you. Because who knows? Maybe there's another person that said, you know what?
That's what's
you
cool,
like
too.
making dog costumes? I make dog costumes.
I do too.
I know the fabric
Yeah.
manufacturer.
But if we hadn't had that talk, we wouldn't have this.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That is very true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we love you girls.
Yeah.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, you guys.
See you soon.
See you later.